Need cheap coins right now? Check out redzonecoins.com. For the very best discount available, use code DIRECTOR for 20% off. Yo, what up, brothers? What's up? It's the Director. Chargers fans, we got a good one today in preparation for our game upcoming on Sunday. Now, I like to say, stay humble, stay grounded, keep it real. These are principles that I live by when talking about the Chargers. But we're gonna throw that all out the window because today, I think, dudes, I have a feeling that we're about to put a thumping on the Carolina Panthers this week. I'm really trying not to get too far ahead of myself because at the end of the day, the Panthers are a professional football team and anything could happen. But it's a team that's missing their crown jewel. What are the Panthers without Christian McCaffrey? The answer? Not that intimidating. I have a feeling, man. I just have a feeling that the Chargers are going to slaughter Carolina this week. This could be the game that solidifies Herbert's position for the rest of the year. So much to talk about, guys. I'm so excited for Sunday's game. With that, let's get into our Chargers versus Carolina Week 3 game prediction. Before we get started, guys, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this Chargers content. Small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, bell notification. Helps me out a lot. Let's get into this video. Lights, camera, action. The Los Angeles Chargers versus the Carolina Panthers in Week 3 of the regular season. This game's being played at home at SoFi Stadium. Let's start this video as we do all of our game previews with an injury report. Now, honestly, the Chargers, we've been hit by a slew of injuries this week. Tyrod Taylor, Justin Jones, Asmar Balil, all are out, confirmed as of this morning. But we also have to keep our eye out on Melvin Ingram, Justin Jackson, and Nick Vigil, who are doubtful to suit up. We also need to look out for Brian Bulaga, Rashawn Jenkins, and Trey Turner, who are questionable. Yikes, that's a lot of players, man. But on the opposite side, Christian McCaffrey, Dennis Daly, Russell Okung, and Kawan Short may also not line up on Sunday, but I feel the Chargers definitely drew the short straw with the number of injuries on our team this week. But the biggest absence, without a doubt, between both rosters is definitely Christian McCaffrey. As I said at the top of the video, who are the Panthers without McCaffrey? That's a question they're gonna have to answer on Sunday versus the elite Chargers defense. That all being said, this game might be absolutely crazy, guys. I feel like even with all the injuries, the Chargers may put up some of our best numbers of the year. And that's because the Panthers defense is just absolutely putrid. They've given up a combined 65 points over the last 2 weeks, ranking 27th in total points allowed. And their biggest weakness, they just can't seem to stop the run. They rank dead last. And this is what the Chargers have been built to annihilate. The Chargers are a very good running team behind the talents of Austin Eckler and Joshua Kelly. And I'll be honest, I've got both of these guys in my big fantasy league, and I think they both have a real shot at popping off this game. Kind of in the same fashion as Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray in years past. They're both just gonna feast. The Bolts are gonna bombard this porous Panthers line with run plays, and honestly, I don't see much resistance throughout all 4 quarters. This is gonna open up the pass dramatically this week. This brings me to a topic that I know a lot of you guys are wanting me to cover: Justin Herbert. Yes, Justin Herbert is starting this game as confirmed by multiple sources, and this may be one of his greatest performances of the entire year. He's about to make a very big statement as to who the year-round starter of this team is. Herbert reached a new stratosphere in last week's game versus the Chiefs, a team that won the Super Bowl last year, a defense that shut down almost every quarterback in the later half of the season, and yet Herbert didn't care. He strolled onto that field with literally 5 minutes notice of being the starter and absolutely carved up the Chiefs, nearly winning that game with the thinnest of margins. Herbert now gets the benefit of a full week's practice with the first team, and he's just gotta be chomping at the bit to prove that he's the real deal. Not to us, we all believe it. We all see his potential. but to Coach Lynn, whose comments on Herbert last week were less than flattering. Now, I stated at the top of this video that the Chargers are going to attack this team on the ground, as they should. If they can't stop it, don't let up. Keep your foot on the gas. And as I also mentioned, this is going to do wonders for Justin Herbert in the passing game. They're going to have to sell out versus the run a lot, and Justin Herbert looked exceptional versus the rush last week, dumping off to guys like Eckler, Kelly, and Keenan Allen with quick and precise throws. I expect to see a lot of this week, and I also expect it to work. To even slow us down on the ground, the Panthers are going to have to throw everything they've got at us, and that's just going to give Herbert the opportunity to feast. This is why I think the Chargers are going to put up some serious points this week. And I'm not even kidding when I say Herbert could put on a show again, throwing for over 300 yards again, pair of scores against this broken defense. Now, I don't underestimate our opponent, but I also think we caught them in a very vulnerable position. Now, what about Carolina's offense? What is there to worry about there? Well, there are two players that really stand out to me, and that's going to be DJ Moore and Teddy Bridgewater. And honestly, that's it. Backup running back Mike Davis is not terrible, but I also feel the Chargers have proven that they're a lot harder to run on than in years past. Curtis Samuel is also someone we have to keep an eye on, as well, as he's expected to see a bulk more snaps due to the absence of Christian McCaffrey, as well as Robbie Anderson, who possesses more of a deep threat than anything. But after what we did to the Chiefs, holding them to 23 points, which required overtime to accomplish, I have full confidence that this defense can do it again. And against a McCaffrey-less Carolina Panthers team, it may be an ugly show for them offensively. But this doesn't mean that we're necessarily invincible. There were cracks shown in our armor last week that Mahomes exploited, mainly scrambling by the quarterback. Mahomes made a few crucial plays with his feet last week that kind of contributed to the loss. Now, Teddy Bridgewater also does possess some skill with his feet as well, but just not as much as Mahomes by far. But still, it is there. It does exist. We need to contain him and not allow him to make any plays outside the pocket. Now, I'm not extremely worried about this due to Carolina's horrendous offensive line that could now be without Russell Okung, their starting left tackle. Last week, the Panthers allowed 5 sacks and 7 QB hits against the Bucs. So not only should Herbert and Eckler feast this match, but so should Joey Bosa and Ingram if he does suit up. All in all, I think this is one of our most favorable matchups this year, and at a time that we really needed it. With all the uncertainty of Herbert's status as our starter this year, a stellar performance here should solidify his position going forward. And honestly, it may reignite a fire in playoff hopes to Chargers fans. If Herbert is the real deal, which I believe he is, this team could very realistically be a threat in the playoffs and beyond. My final prediction for this game, get ready guys, Chargers 34, Panthers 10. Eckler and Kelly will feast. Joey Bosa will dominate. And Justin Herbert will firmly plant his flag as the unquestioned QB1 of the Los Angeles Chargers. What do you guys think in the comments section below? How do you think this game is going to pan out? Do you think that I have the Chargers winning by way too much? Not enough? Or do you think this game's going to be a lot closer than maybe even I think? And more importantly, do you think Justin Herbert shows Coach Lynn enough to solidify his spot as our starting quarterback for the rest of the year? Guys, leave your comments in the comments section below. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. Hit us up with a like and sub on your way out if you did enjoy this content. As always, everybody, bolt up and stay frosty.